All right, lighting on MagicQ continuing on. All right. Now, how did I get all these freaking videos in here? Is like, all right, let me show you what we have. So I'm gonna just hit locate, output, locate, so we can see them. All right, so the first ones, like the first 10. So the first media folders, 8, 9, 10. See, now notice these numbers coming up. And then, oh, here's another thing that will just piss you off beyond compare. This thing, see, it jumped into this whole thing, and in order to get out, you gotta, like, let's say you knew you needed to be at 5 and you scrolled to get to number 5. Well, it's gonna snap into this whole crazy thing, which is like worthless because it's like 5% of 255. Okay, so then we come up to here and we go, you're gonna click on this. Now, here, the numbers are changing, right? 7, 8, these are empty folders of theirs, 10, 11, okay? And yes, it's really large. So that's why I've made these complex things like go to layer 3 and it'll bring me there. So if you ever find yourself in one of those weird things, even like this, like I'm like, ooh, gee, I want to go to another media folder. And oh man, well, now I can pop myself back to layer 3. And I did it down there, layer 3, and I'm here. And yeah, it just sucks. And you have to touch that to make this active. That's okay. All right, so I have, this is a number 11. These are group acts for the house show. 12 is logos. So I try to put all logos. These are all logos for the house show and personal. So if Boom Boom Liqueur is doing a Wild West show and she has a logo, it goes into there. All group acts go into the Wild West folder. All solo acts go into solo folders, even if they're Wild West. There's a reason for that, and that's because sometimes we do the shows off. We feature things on other times. All right. So I call these like little bits of phrases, whatever. A lot of the performers are like up from like 15 to 19, you can see, and I'll show you. We get to 30, and that's where like, so 30 is like burlesque. So see where it says BUR, it's supposed to say 30 on it. I find it's hard to read this. The guy who owns the place is like extremely brilliant, and I'm not. I'm extremely creative. So I have to treat myself like a third grader, and I can do brilliant creative stuff, but when it comes to remembering 5 different numbers and counting where I am, it doesn't work. All right, so there's tunnels. This is like all these kind of flashing lights, and these really work because it's almost like they create lights in the background to the scene. And then I'm just gonna go real quick. These are all hearts. These are all just what I call, they're like sci-fi type stuff. And then we get into strobes, which you use very sparingly for like, if it goes like a drum beat. This is all burlesque dancers, and you just use these sparingly. And then strobe at 35. Okay, here's something that's happening. If you notice, we're going backwards. That's another thing that happens for no reason. We start going backwards instead of forwards, okay? All the way you can do that is you gotta go backwards like this. You'll go backwards like 31, then you start going up to tell it you want to start going up. For no reason, I don't know if I just moved or glitched or whatever. I talked to tech support, they did not know. All right, so here's like things made with lines and stuff. So how did I create this whole thing? It was a pain in the ass. It was just took so long, and it takes planning, a lot of planning. So I wanted a library of things I could just pull on for the house show, and nobody really had much burlesque stuff. So I went to all sorts of different sources. I went to YouTube and I looked up like DJ motion graphics. You could find some stuff there. And then I go to Canva, and they had a lot of videos. Buy the Canva thing. It's the best value of anything you'll ever do in your life. I don't make any money off them. And then you can create videos and make little things. And I did them in all sorts of different programs. Wondershare, we have Wondershare, and that one has all sorts of templates, like about 1,000 or something like that. But I need to teach you about the folder on audio and video, but there is in MagicQ, there is a folder. Well, this is annoying, isn't it? All right. And in that folder, you go to Show, double click, and in Show, here's your audio folder. I'll just show you this real quick. You're gonna, when somebody gives you a song that needs to be played, I like it to be named like WW Wild West, their name. Okay, if it's a group number, it's GR-_GR, and this is the closing, and I'll have 3 parts, and it has WW for Wild West. And other things. And then I take these out and I put like Christmas and reorganize them when Christmas comes around. All right, so that's the audio. So you're gonna drag it in here. It cannot point to the other thing. So if you find that you can't find Big Spender, group Big Spender, it could be because you lost it, or it could be because when you copied it, it didn't copy it fully. It's just doing one of those pointy kind of things. So what's the rule? If it's on another hard drive, and then you pull it over, it'll copy. But if it's on the same drive and you move it, sometimes it just points to it. Something like that. I forgot exactly what it is, but let's go to media. So you're gonna prepare media. You go to MagicQ, you go to media, and these are your folders. When you start, you have 10, and they're gonna name these, and this is what those look like. And all these folders just kind of automatically come up. So I made a list of what I thought I had and what should go where, and put a bunch of things in. So you have to, the best way I have found to do this is I use Wondershare, and you're going to make these videos and put them in a folder, think of them as loops, okay? But you might make an intro video, but just for now, think of them as loop videos, and you would make them, put them in a folder, and then I go to Wondershare and I import them and I export them as MKV, okay? All these things are MKV. If you go to Wondershare and do them as MKV, like 1920 by 1080, and you like medium to low resolution, they'll come up fine on a big screen, and then they won't use too much RAM as they're playing. If you try to take a movie, you can import a movie or an MP4 or whatever, but it'll be huge. And we're trying to get these videos as small as possible. Does that make sense? So once you have these things and you're importing them in, you'll never like frickin' use the names. You'll always just look at them, except if it has to be somewhere. Like, let's say you make a video for Darth Vader, and the first video is gonna start the verse, the chorus, the verse, and then this hit. I always put the time code number on there. So I'll put like Darth, P1 for part 1, and then I'll put 0000 it's at the beginning, 0102 for 1 minute and 1 second. So I know, and then I import them. So what you do is you're gonna get your videos together, and sometimes you're doing it as you do it, and then let's launch this, and you have to render them to MKV, medium to low resolution, but you're getting ready, you're at home, and you never met us before, or you're just doing this from scratch. You're gonna go to media player, and you're gonna go, see where it says not convert all media, you're gonna convert the file. So if I was gonna convert a file, I'd go, well, first of all, your view media output has to be on. You go to media player and you go convert file, and you're gonna find that file. So let's go, find a file. This is our Dropbox. And I try to put all my projection folders in a projection thing, all my audio in audio, all my Pro Tools sessions in Pro Tools sessions. All right, and what I will do is I will take this, Christmas, right? Because I'll never use Christmas. I'll definitely know that that's not supposed to be there. And I go like this. I'm gonna find this one. It says clip 01, because I've already used it There's another whole thing. Hit open. Okay. Then I'm going to put this into Christmas. All right. 01. All right. If there's a bunch of them, it'll ask you if you want to put them all in a row, and you do. So you do that, and hit convert, and it'll convert it. If it's already an MKV, it doesn't have as much work to do. And it goes to this process. Now it is in that folder, and that's how I got all of them in there. So during this, we take out all the Christmas folder stuff because all this thing tends to use RAM and slow the thing down. And we take the 20 show out and the thing. So when you do this, when you put them back in, you want to be able to get them all back in and in the exact same places. So the way you're going to do that is you want to check your media out. So I'm going to go to the folder I have, that's Christmas, for an example. And this is very important, even though you can check back on it. And no, I'm sorry, we're going to go down to, God, I hope you guys can see this. I'm talking so fast. What I'm trying to say is, if you go to Christmas, and this is folder 050 that I've saved, and see how this is 01, 02, 03, 04. If you skip one and you highlight all these and put them in, they'll be in the wrong spot and none of your folders will be there. So I always make sure that when I'm doing my stuff, I never have any gaps. If I do, I take one of those graphics that say like number 50 and I stick it in there before I try to save all this stuff. So I can highlight the whole thing and do it. Otherwise, let's say this was 1 through 10 and the next one was number 20. You'd have to import 1 through 10 on 1 and start number 20 on number 20 so they all went in a row. And I know that's really complicated. So after you get all your things in there, then you can start putting those videos into your songs. Now, you have a new, you're light programming for the Boom Boom Room, and you've made Annie Oakley, and it's a 1.5 minute video that shows like a timeline thing of her history and everything she did. Now you've made it, you've turned it into an MKV, right? And then you're going to get it somewhere over here or in Dropbox so you can put it. I personally, again, want you to put all these projection folders, things under projection in the Dropbox. I'm sorry, I'm talking so down to everyone. Christmas, Halloween, and we're trying to make it nice and organized. So, and then you will go through that process of importing. Let's go back to MagicQ, and you would go media player, convert file, like what we looked at, and then I'll take number 2, and let's say that's Annie Oakley. You'd hit open, and we're gonna find what we're working on, Christmas, for example, and I'm gonna find Christmas, like that, and it's number 2, okay? Now, you don't need to not name that number 2. These were last year, and this thing named them. Let's just say I put this on number 4. It will go to number 4, even though it's named number 2, okay? And you're going to remember what that one is, okay? And then there's that example of, now you got this 1.5 minute video, and you come over here, and let's say you're going to put it in the timeline, and you want it to play, so you go at Magic HD, layer 1, locate, output, locate, media, this, okay? You got that? You're picking your media player. We're going to change the media. Christmas is number 50. So notice I can't just slide myself. It's really difficult. I have to go below 50. If I land on 50, I'll be in this big old stupid window. All right, 49, 50, right? And I have 2 Christmases. That is our makeshift Annie Oakley. All right, and what's wrong with that video? We're going to fix that right now. So I'm glad you're seeing this. Let's go to window position. And what you're going to do, see it's all a weird size. You're going to go to fixed screen and then full screen. And now it fills the screen. And that's the workaround on that. All right, by the way, for those guys who are doing projection, the way this works is you're going to hit no border, always on top, And what I have done is, this is a monitor. This is my third monitor. And then I have a splitter that splits this monitor feed into those projections, and all that stuff is like over there. It's a little hacked, but that's how it's done. You take a monitor feed and you're gonna put that on a monitor and put it over there. There are other ways to do it. I don't know how. Okay, where am I? I got Annie Oakley, and I have her ready to go. That's Annie Oakley. Is just a review. You hit record, right? And I have her on 210. And what is this? This is number 5004. All right. Now I'm going to do the history of Annie Oakley, and I need to include number 2. And I got Annie Oakley up there, and I'm going to make, we're just going to do front washes and hit locate and make them green. Okay, and I want them green for some reason, and I can update that. So the easy way is to include this and change it, but sometimes it's not. So another way to do that is you can go include, go back to your thing, your Magic HD, and I gotta remember 5004. You guys probably remember that, but I got a terrible memory. So 5004, I've written it down, 5004. And so what I have to do now is start over, and I have to go locate, because especially if I have already put my light scenes, and I'm hitting locate, right? Locate. Oh, I turned my board off, damn it. Locate. God, I hope this even makes sense for people. Locate. Hope you're with me. Locate, locate. I'm trying to get it done because I got so much to do today. Right, and then I have to go to 50. How do we do that? I'm scraping this down, drag, because I'm in this stupid thing. And I hit tap, 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 which may be going up and down, which also sucks. And I'm on 50, and I gotta have 50. I could do 04, but I happen to know it's right there. 5004, and now I have it. I wanna make a new light scene, and I'm like, locate. Oh gee, now I have to go back to my layers because I need all my stuff. Beams. I'm gonna do a spider web. No, I'm gonna do this one right there, okay? So I just, for some reason, want that one. So that's how I made my scene, and this thing has changed to pony. So you have to make sure you are putting this in the right thing because it changes back. So every time you go to record, if not, because every time you change from layer 1 to 2, it recalls pony, because that's what they were saved when it was in there. Even though this one is highlight, if you record this right here, it's going to go to the song Pony. You're going to rewind and play. You're going to be like, why isn't it playing? It's going to play this, which is that song instead of your Annie Oakley song, and it's going to show you this. So watch. Now it's dun dun dun, but pony is playing. See, and it's going through the. Well, it's showing you. It's showing you pony and all of it's doing. So, but it's playing the programs, the cue for this other one. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I don't make money off this. I am so sorry. This is so convoluted. All right.